After studying this module, you shall be able to evaluate the roles entrepreneurs play in the economic development of a country, learn about the policies launched by the government, evaluate the various forms of financial support provided by the government. The need for finance is the most sought after support for an entrepreneur. Most of the ventures fail due to shortage of funds. A business venture needs fund at every stage of its existence, right from setting up the business to carrying out the operations of the business smoothly, to modernization and upgradation of the business unit. To make India a globally competitive and industrially innovative destination that stimulates inclusive growth, it is imperative for government to provide proactive support to new and existing ventures. Entrepreneurship is considered as the backbone of economic development. The level of economic development of a region largely depends upon the level of entrepreneurial activity in that region. Entrepreneurs are born is a myth that no longer holds good. In fact, entrepreneurs can be created and nurtured through interventions by the government. The policies pursued by the government have led to the growth of entrepreneurship in the country. To accelerate the pace of entrepreneurship in the country, the governments at central and state level have implemented various measures. A key factor in the economic development and progress of a nation. It promotes capital formation, it generates employment opportunities, it promotes balanced regional development, it reduces concentration of economic power, creation and distribution of wealth, increase in per capita income and standard of living, promotes capital formation. By mobilizing the idle savings of public, entrepreneurs promote capital formation. It creates wealth and leads to value addition, which is essential for the development of the country. Generates employment opportunities. Entrepreneurs help in solving the chronic problem of unemployment. By setting up factories and offices both on small and large scale, a number of job opportunities are created. With time, when enterprises grow, they provide direct and indirect employment to a huge size of population. Promotes balanced regional development. Small businesses and entrepreneurs help to remove the problem of regional disparity by setting up industrial units in backward and less developed areas. The growth of industrial units in these areas leads to creation of transportation, education and health facilities in these areas, thus leading to balanced regional development. Reduces concentration of economic power. Concentration of economic power in the hands of selected few is a natural result of industrial activity. Development of entrepreneurship helps in redressing this problem by reducing the concentration of economic power. Creation and distribution of wealth. Entrepreneurship aids in equitable distribution of income and wealth in the country, thus providing benefits to a larger section of society. Increase in per capita income and standard of living. Entrepreneurs helps in raising the standard of living of people by providing employment to a large population of the country. Moreover, they make use of latest innovation and technology in the production of goods and services, thereby providing quality goods at low cost to the population. Next, we will discuss about financial support provided by government. Finance is the most essential requirement of an enterprise. It is not possible to develop a business without adequate funds. To promote small businesses, the central as well as state government have promoted a number of financial institutions. Some of the important institutions have been enumerated below.
Industrial Development Bank of India (IDBI), National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development (NABARD), Export Import Bank of India (Exim Bank), Small Industrial Development Bank of India (SIDBI), Industrial Finance Corporation of India (IFCI), Indian Reconstruction Bank of India, State Financial Corporation, Industrial Development Bank of India. IDBI is one of the largest commercial bank of India. It has played an essential role in the industrial development of the country, first as a development financial institute and then as full service commercial bank. IDBI was established in 1964 under an Act of Parliament as a wholly owned subsidiary of the Reserve Bank of India. In 1976, it was deassociated from RBI and the ownership was transferred to the Government of India under Public Financial Institution Laws Amendment Act 1976. It was restructured as a principal financial institution with the following objectives: create a principal institute for long term finance, coordinate the institutions working in the field for planned development of industrial sector, provide technical and administrative support to the industries, conduct research and development activities for the benefit of industrial sector. Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI), National Securities Depository Limited (NSDL), National Stock Exchange (NSE) are some of the institutes built by IDBI. IDBI aims to provide long-term financial assistance for the growth of the industrial sector. Apart from direct financing of the entrepreneurial and industrial activities, IDBI is also engaged in indirect financing by way rediscounting of bills and refinancing. IDBI raises funds through a combination if approaches such as bonds and deposits, borrowings from government and RBI, market borrowings, line of credit and borrowings from abroad in foreign currency. Functions of IDBI: first, to provide direct loans to business ventures for financing new projects. Second, to provide soft loans under equipment finance scheme for various purposes like modernization. Third, to directly subscribe and underwrite the shares, debentures of business ventures. Fourth, to provide loan in foreign currency for import of equipment of capital goods. Fifth, provide corporate houses with working capital loans. Apart from providing financial assistance, IDBI has set up a network of organizations in collaboration with all India financial institutions for technical consultancy. The aim of the network is to provide advisory and consultancy services to entrepreneurs at cheaper cost. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development (NABARD). NABARD is an apex development bank with headquarters in Mumbai, set up by RBI under the chairmanship of Shri B. Sivaraman by a special act of parliament. It came into existence on July 12, 1982 and was set up by merging the Rural Planning and Credit Cell of RBI and Agriculture Credit Department. It took over the functions of Agriculture Refinance and Development Corporations. NABARD is a member of Alliance for Finance Inclusion and is active in developing financial inclusion policy. The main focus of NABARD is to increase the flow of credit towards agriculture and rural non-farm sector. To finance business ventures, NABARD raises funds by borrowings from RBI or central government or any other organization that has been approved by RBI, central government guaranteed bonds and debentures, and National Rural Credit Establishment Fund. Export Import Bank of India. It was established under Export Import Act 1981 of India on January 1, 1982 to take over the export finance activities of IDBI. It has played a key role in promoting cross border trade and investment by financing exports and imports of goods and services. It is managed by board of directors which has representatives from the government, RBI, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India, public sector banks and people from the business community. The functions performed by EXIM are as follows: to provide direct finance to exporters of goods and consultancy services and software exporters, to provide funds for importing and exporting of machinery and equipment on lease basis, to provide funds for turnkey construction projects and overseas joint ventures, export bill rediscounting, to provide multi-currency financing facility for exporters. Exim Bank raises funds by way of borrowings from RBI and other financial institutions by issuing bonds and debentures and raising foreign deposits. Small Industrial Development Bank of India SIDBI. SIDBI is a financial institution that was set up in India as a subsidiary of IDBI to aid the growth and development of micro, small, and medium scale enterprises by an Act of Parliament on April 2, 1988. The core objective to set up SIDBI was to strengthen the existing institutional arrangements to meet the requirements of tiny, small, and medium scale industries. On its establishment, it took over the IDBI business that related to small scale industries such as Small Industry Development Fund and National Equity Scheme. The ownership of SIDBI is currently held by 33 Government of India institutions. SIDBI performs the following functions: to provide direct financing to small scale industries, to provide development and equity support to small and tiny industries, to provide refinance support to development financial institutions and commercial banks, to provide working capital through single window scheme, to coordinate the working of various institutions that are engaged in providing funds to small scale and tiny undertakings. SIDBI has recently set up 7 branches for dispensing loans up to Rs 5 lakhs. Industrial Finance Corporation of India IFCI. IFCI is a development bank owned by the Government of India, established during July 1948 under the Industrial Finance Corporation of India Act as the first development financial institution after independence. The main objective of IFCI is to provide medium and long term credit to business ventures and creation of industrial facilities. The functions performed by IFCI are as follows: to provide financial support to businesses for expansion, diversification, modernization, and for undertaking new projects, to provide leasing and equipment finance, merchant banking, to subscribe and underwrite public issue of shares and debentures, guarantees foreign currency loans. Indian Reconstruction Bank of India. The Government of India set up Industrial Reconstruction Corporation of India in 1971 to provide financial assistance to business ventures and to revive sick industrial units in both public and private sector. In 1985, Industrial Reconstruction Corporation of India was converted into a statutory corporation called Industrial Reconstruction Bank of India. The functions performed by IRBI are as follows: to provide funds to sick industrial units, merchant banking services, managerial and technical assistance to sick industrial units, to secure support of government agencies and financial institutions for revival of sick industries. State Financial Corporation. Under the Financial Corporation Act 1951, it was made mandatory that every state in India will establish its own established financial corporation. They were set up to provide medium and long term capital to businesses which fall outside normal activities of commercial banks. SFC performs the following functions: to provide loan assistance for acquiring fixed assets like building, plant and machinery to small and medium scale industries, to provide loans for diversification, expansion, and technology development, to undertake issue of shares and bonds of business ventures. To meet its objectives, SFCs mobilizes their financial resources by way of their own share capital, sale of bonds, loans from IDBI, state government and RBI, and deposits from public. Apart from providing finance to businesses, the government has launched various programs and set up various organizations to promote entrepreneurship. National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, NIESBUD, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, EDII, MSME Development Institute, District Industry Centers. Apart from providing finance to businesses, the government has launched various programs and set up various organizations to promote entrepreneurship. National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development is an apex body set up in 1983 by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Aims to promote entrepreneurship through training, consultancy and research. NIESBUD is engaged in overseeing the activities of various agencies that deal with development of entrepreneurship. The objectives of National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development are as follows: to evolve standardized materials and processes for selection, training, support, and sustenance of entrepreneurs, potential and existing, to help support and affiliate institutions, organizations in carrying out training and other entrepreneurship development related activities, to serve as an apex national level resource institute for accelerating the process of entrepreneurship development, ensuring its impact across the country and among all strata of the society, to provide vital information and support to trainers, promoters, and entrepreneurs by organizing research and documentation relevant to entrepreneurship development, to train trainers, promoters, and consultants in various areas of entrepreneurship development, to provide national, international forums for interaction and exchange of experiences helpful for policy formulation and modification at various levels. Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, EDII. The institute, registered under Societies Regulation Act 1860 and Public Trust Act, is an autonomous, not for profit organization set up in 1983 and sponsored by financial institutions such as IDBI, SBI, IFCI. EDII runs educational programs in the field of entrepreneurship, including a 2-year postgraduate diploma in management (PGDM) for first generation entrepreneurs, family business inheritors, agribusiness, and non governmental organization management. The functions performed by EDII are as follows: to create a multiplier effect on opportunities for self employment, to increase the supply of competent entrepreneurs through training, to inculcate the spirit of entrepreneurship in youth, to promote micro enterprises at rural level. MSME Development Institute formerly known as Small Industries Service Institute. It was set up in 1960 as Small Industries Service Institute Extension Center and later changed to Small Industries Service Institute in 1975 to promote micro, small, and medium enterprises. The institute aims to develop a culture of entrepreneurship through training, consultancy, vendor development programs, and buyer seller meets. The functions performed by the institute are to serve as an interface between central and state governments, to render technical support services, to conduct entrepreneurship development programs. District Industries Center. It was set up in 1978 with an aim to promote, develop, and facilitate district wise industrial development in the nation. DIC surveys traditional and new industries and make arrangements for training facilities in management and production. The functions performed by DIC are as follows: to conduct surveys keeping in view the availability of resources in terms of material and human skills, infrastructure, demand, etc., to prepare a plan of action for effective implementation of the schemes identified, to provide guidance to entrepreneurs in selecting the most appropriate machinery, equipment, etc.
Policies launched by government. To promote entrepreneurship and small businesses, government has launched various policies and schemes. Some of the schemes have been enumerated below. The advances given to small scale industries are considered as priority sector advances. As per the RBI guidelines, all nationalized banks are required to provide 40% of their advances to priority sector, thus giving priority to small businesses and entrepreneurs in bank finance. Collateral is not required for loans up to Rs 5 lakhs as per the RBI guidelines. Credit Guarantee Scheme (CGS) has been set up to strengthen credit delivery system and facilitate flow of credit to the small scale sector. Through the National Equity Fund scheme, equity support is available to entrepreneurs. They can use funds for setting up new projects in tiny, small sector for undertaking expansion, modernization, technology upgradation and diversification. Special concessional rates for small businesses and entrepreneurs are provided by many nationalized banks. For advances below Rs 2 lakhs, some banks offer finance at the bank's prime lending rate (PLR). Entrepreneurship is considered as the backbone of economic development. Entrepreneurs can be created and nurtured through interventions by the government. The policies pursued by the government have led to the growth of entrepreneurship in the country. Entrepreneurship helps in employment generation, increasing the per capita income, raising the standard of living and reducing concentration of power. IDBI, NABARD, Exim Bank, SFC, etc. are some of the institutions set up by the government to provide financial assistance to small businesses and entrepreneurs. National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, MSME Development Institute and District Industry Centers are some of the institutions that have been set up by the government to provide non-financial support to entrepreneurs.